I remember working on like, especially the first record, but just figuring out like live arrangements of songs before we did even that, like playing game theory for the first time. Um, all that sticks out in my memory as like we're just like this gels, this works, and this is like a lot of fun. Like from the first time we played game theory.
Yeah, and that's now that I think about it, it's like so well, one, how lucky we were that that was the case, you know? Like like I feel like the chances that like well, I guess like it helped that like the three of you had played together before in some like in some way or fashion.
Yeah, not the three of us together, but the three of us separately somehow.
So I think
Yeah,
Russ then is the catalyst that made it all happen because like for me this is like my first time like playing music and like to just gel so naturally with like I knew Russ but like we hadn't played music, me and Russ hadn't played music together before, and then like I
Yeah.
barely knew you guys, and like to just like gel like that playing music together just like pretty effortlessly is now that I think about it is pretty crazy, right?
yeah. There's
Yeah, I
some
never thought about
serendipity
that.
there.
Like I
There's
I
never
some
just
really thought
serendipity
about it
there.
that way.
Me either, but I agree, and I think I mean, if we really want to get specific about it, so David and I were in that other band, and it was really my first like band original song stuff. Was that was the case for you too, right, David?
Basically, yeah. The first
Yeah,
real thing where we
yeah,
performed in front of people.
and it was cool. I definitely wanted to be in a band, and so it was cool to be in that group, but just like tensions were getting high, and David and I weren't as close to our other bandmates as they were with each other, and I just remember at that point in time just really thinking like it'd be cool to be in a band like with my friends. So when you hit me up, Jake, talking about how you were writing music and you wanted to jam, and then we recorded Game Theory together, and I threw in some ideas. I don't remember if it was you or I who brought up the idea of what if we just like did this more often, but whenever we made that decision, I was like, okay, this could be it. Like where I'm gonna actually enjoy being in a band because it's with people that I enjoy being around, and we all want to make the same kind of music and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It was like playing and just waiting was so fun, but just I don't know. I felt like we were more. The thing that felt different was we were on the same page and like instinctively on a lot of things. Like when we were playing, um, again from the first time we played game theory, I just thought we were like the chemistry was just there, and also I feel like we could be more creative.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. This band was such a fun time to try to break out of the usual like pop punk molds that I would play in, like
Yeah,
on
same for me.
drums. Yeah, exactly. Like we're just so used to playing a certain genre, um, that I don't know. At a certain point, I was like, I can try and mess with this my own way. And I think, am I right in saying you felt the same way songwriting wise?
At least I did, and again, I know for Jake, you keep referring to how this is like your first music thing.
Yeah, I think for me it was just like, you know, I didn't have an idea of like how it like I didn't have an idea of my head in my head like it should be this way or it should be that way or this thing is going to be, you know, XYZ. And to me it was all new and just like I didn't know there was a certain way to do things. I didn't know like there's a certain way things should be done. So everything was just like, oh, you want to do this? Sure, whatever. Oh, this feels good. Like whatever. This sounds good. You know, I don't know. Like I didn't go into it like thinking even this was gonna become a band. I was just like literally to Russ. I was like, hey, I have this song. Like,
Yeah.
and because I knew Russ was like super talented with like making his own stuff, and he was in like other bands before. So I just like came to him, and he was really the only person I knew who did that. So I just like came to him and I was like, hey, can you or honestly, I just like wanted his opinion on it. And then like when he was like super into it, I was like, oh well, like could you like add to it anyway, or like could we make this something? And you know, I think from there it kind of just like really naturally developed. You know, like
When?
it wasn't forced at all.
No, yeah, it definitely wasn't forced, which I like. But okay, I remember the first time you played it for me. You invited me to your house, like we were in your living room. But when
Dude, we
would
were
that?
watching like.
Go ahead.
Were you gonna say when would that have been?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was like it was over Thanksgiving break
Yeah.
one
Yeah. Yeah.
year
Yeah.
when we were in college.
Yeah.
But I
Freshman
think
year.
2015.
Yeah. 2015.
I think I invited you over like to watch a football game or something. Because
Was it
fun
Alec?
fact,
Were some of our friends
Alex
there?
Palavoda was there. Alex Palavoda was
Yeah.
there. Yeah, I remember it specifically because I was like super nervous to show it to anyone. Like because
Oh.
like I had no concept in my head of like this could be the worst song ever written, you know? Like I thought it was good, like because I mean, like I had some confidence in it, but I was just like, yo, this could easily like I could easily play that, like you know, and it must have just it was probably just like insecurities in my head, but I was just like I could play this for him and like he could like laugh in my face and be like that was terrible or like I don't know, you know, like and that's just like the thoughts I had in my head. So I was like super nervous like to like show you. So I remember actually.
Yeah,
like,
but
the exact like where I was sitting on the couch. That's down to the detail of like that's what I remember.
So
which is kind of funny.
and then when did we record it? It was maybe a couple days later, right?
Yeah, I think you heard it and you were like we got to record this and I was like super like surprised you said that because the funny thing is that like I showed you the song, but that was like my goal, right? Like I was like I want like I thought of you in like high regard as like a songwriter. So I was like I want to show
Sweet.
I want to show Russ the song and that's my goal. Like I wonder what he thinks about it. And like I was not expecting you to hear it and be like, "Oh, we got to record this," like, you know. And I was like, so even that, I was like, "Wow, okay, like, sure." Like,
Because I think obviously I really liked the song because it's a great song, even just the bare bones of it. But that was the first time where someone approached me with a song just on their guitar. And so when you started playing it and I was playing along, I instantly got like all of these different ideas in my head about the drums and the bass could be doing this and we can layer vocals here. And that got me really excited because not only could we record it so we could listen to it whenever we wanted, but we could like completely flesh this out. And so, yeah, it must have been just a couple days later and we recorded it in a day. And I remember right when we listened to the first playback, that's when we were like, "Oh, we should be doing this more often."
Yeah, I was like, and to me, it was just like, you know, you could think of it as like such like now, like looking back, like because obviously we recorded a lot of stuff, but like me showing like my goal when I didn't even know my goal was to record it, let alone like start a band or like start playing music with other people. When I showed you that song, I was just like I wonder what Russ thinks of this song, you know.
Yeah.
And like for you, like, and I think like I started getting really excited about it when like you started getting really excited about it because I think like I came to record it at your house and I like didn't really have like a concept of like what that was.
You didn't have an electric guitar.
Like,
you didn't even have an electric guitar.
No, I didn't even have an electric guitar. And I didn't have an electric guitar for a while. Yeah, like for a while. But like I came to your house and you had all these ideas. You were like, "Oh yeah, like I wrote a lead guitar part already." And I was like, "What?" Like that's crazy. Like I was like, "Yeah, sure." Like record it. Like let's make like a legit song. And we did in like a day. And I was like, holy crap. Like
yeah, but what's really bananas, Jake, if I'm thinking about it now, we said let's do this more often, and then so that was Thanksgiving break, and then over winter break, which could have only been a couple weeks difference, right?
Yeah, it was like 3 or 4 weeks.
We
like
recorded a whole album.
Yeah. Well, okay, I will say that I had some other songs I had written,
okay,
but like
cool.
Game Theory was the first one I had written, and like it was like the one that I felt like, all right, if I'm gonna show Russ any song, I'm gonna show him this one, you know. And like so, but I had some other stuff kind of in the works, but I think like I was so just like surprised in like in a good way, like by that experience of like just like showing you that, and then like all of a sudden like we recorded it in like, you know, over that same like Thanksgiving break, that like I think that just really like motivated me and inspired me to write more. So like by the time winter break rolled around, which could only have been like a month different, like I had probably written like 3 or 4 new songs, and then Russ, you had a bunch of songs you had been writing that I was super into as well. So I mean, like, yeah, that's like pretty. Now that you say that, it's pretty crazy that we had like that much material so quickly. You know?
Yeah, and then we had stuff left over, or we were also writing on the side, and then that spring break we did the second EP or the first EP. And
so I know Eric was, because Eric was involved in the recording process for the Crew You Idiot, which was the first album.
Yeah, which I don't know if a lot of people know that we have 2 releases on Bandcamp that aren't on Spotify.
Yeah.
Those
are the OG songs.
I was a fan of those. Like, me and my brother would actually listen to those because Russ was friends with, not Russ, Matt was friends with Jake and Russ. So he was like, hey, check out this thing my friends did. And, you know, I was already in a band with Russ, and we were like listening to that. And Matt and I just enjoyed it, and like I complimented Russ on it. I when I heard it, and like, but then he was like, hey, do you want to drum on it? And I was like, yes, of course. Like, as a fan of Shark Club, it was great.
Yeah. I mean, like, sonically, it's not like the best thing that's ever been done, but like those songs are
heart,
like,
and it's got character.
Yeah, it's got heart.
Those songs are like fun to play. They're from the heart. I mean, it's like, they're very like, it was just truly like me, Russ, and Eric just being like, yeah, like let's just have fun and like make music. Like that at the very basis of it, like that's what it was, which is kind of cool.
And your
to look back on.
In your critiques about the sonics of it, which I obviously agree, because I was just getting started doing all the recording and mixing myself. That was the first time I ever did it. But you know, a lot of people ask how come Game Theory and stuff aren't on Spotify, and it's because of what Jake said. Because whether we want to admit it or not, there were a lot of computerized instruments on those first couple of things. And the stuff we were able to make later on, not much of a difference, but definitely better. The songs we're a little more proud of. We started coming to our own, and that's why those are on Spotify. But it
didn't feel right until you got a human behind the kit.
Yeah, until we got David in there.
Yeah, but those songs though are special, man. I don't know, they're fun. Like those are the first songs we'd play live too.
Yeah, how about this? Like, how do you guys ever listen to Shark Club, or is that weird?
Sometimes I do, yeah.
Yeah?
It depends. I gotta be in the mood for it.
Yeah, that too.
What does that mean? How do you get in the Shark Club mood?
I don't know, but like sometimes like I'll just throw it on and like I'll get really nostalgic, and I'll like
exactly
like that's why it's hard to listen to sometimes, because it just makes me like upset that we can't be playing now.
Well, that and at least like sometimes I just like knowing that it's me weirds me out, if that makes any sense. Like,
I get that.
It's
that
like,
makes sense.
Like not that I'm not proud of the songs, or like that I don't think they like, it's not something I like think sounds good. It's just like, I don't know, maybe it's just, and like it's silly that I think that's a thing, right? Like you should like, but like at the end of the day, like I know that's my voice, right? And I'm like, oh, like that's so weird, you know, to me to hear that. And but like sometimes it could come on and I'm like, I'm all about it. But like sometimes I'm like, I don't know if I could do this today.
Yeah, I don't know. I definitely miss like playing those drum parts and stuff, and like that's the thing naturally that I find myself remembering kind of first, or actually I'll remember the melody of a song, of a Shark Club song, and then it gets stuck in my head, and the drum part will get stuck in my head, and like that's the trap I'm falling into these days. Because
I will say this though.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this though. I have been listening a lot. I think some of the mixes we got for the new record are like really tight. I've been really into some of those. Like that, I get excited about.
I am dummy hype.
Yeah, like dude, I went for a walk. Like it must have been like it was probably like a month ago around this. Like, but I went for just like a long walk. It was like pretty nice day outside. I just like was like I'm just like try to listen to all the mixes we have, right? Like for the record, and I was just like, dude, we gotta release this thing. I got really excited, you know, like because I was like really. I mean, well, one, it's been such a long process, but like two, I'm just like the stuff we got that we're working with is just like I think like really really good and really like I don't know. I don't know if it's cocky to say that, but like I think it's like really good. You know,
I think
like,
musically we're really. Yeah, I mean, like I think we can all agree on this. I can speak for all of us when I say we're really proud of how it sounds and like and the writing we put into it, like all of us, like our individual parts and like the arrangement and that's not even like touching what Ethan did, which is phenomenal in its own right. So I don't know. We've been honing it for a while, and I'm just excited to share it.